This is what a biological neural network looks like. Hello guys, this is Manik. This video is the first part of our series Introduction to Neural Networks. In this video, we will discuss the relation between biological neuron and an artificial neuron. That is how an artificial neuron is inspired from a biological neuron. So that's what we'll discuss in this video. Can you recognize this image here? You can easily say that this image contains handwritten digits. But how does our brain actually do that? Let's see that. So what happens is, whenever we see an object, light from that object gets reflected and enters into our eye, and our eye processes that light. The retina in our eye contains light sensitive cells which are known as rods and cones. So when light enters into our eye, these cells gets activated and then send some type of signals, electrical signals, to the visual cortex part of our brain. So let's see the visual cortex part. There are many parts in the visual cortex part of our brain itself. The primary visual cortex is known as V1, which is responsible for taking the data and performing the first pre-processing step to understand what the person has seen. So V1 may process the simple parts of the object such as lines and edges. Another section of the visual cortex may understand more higher level and abstract level features such as a complete image. So this is what the cross-sectional view of our brain and eye looks like. These are our eyes, which sends electrical signals to the visual cortex part of our brain, which is located here at the back side of our brain. Visual cortex part of our brain contains different types of cells, that is simple cells and complex cells. Simple cells responds to simple type of features as we discussed, such as a straight line, whereas complex cells responds to more complex or more higher level features such as a line at a certain edge or a complete curve. So you can see here that simple cells tries to understand the object in a simple way, whereas complex cells tries to construct more higher level and complex features to understand what the person is actually seeing. So here is a fun activity. You can see here that this is ABC, whereas this is 12, 13, 14, because our brain is really very intelligent and it even takes data which it has seen previously. So when we try to say that this is ABC, at that time we considered it B because we have seen A, that is an alphabet. So our brain tries to predict even the next character might also be an alphabet, whereas here we have seen an integer value. So our brain tries to predict that might be the next value is also an integer value. So that's how it works. It's kind of an illusion type thing. So let's come back here. Evolution of human brain. It has taken our brain millions of years to evolve and understand that visual data. But how can we make a computer do that? One simple answer could be we can write an algorithm with which we can predict which digit is written in the image. But there are many problems for that. First of all humans are not same, and those are practically handwritten digits. So those digits will be different for each person. That is, each person writes the digit in a different way. You and me will write 8 in a different way. Possibly you might write 8 in a different way like this, and I might write 8 like this. So these are quite different figures actually, but still our brain recognizes that these both digits are 8. So it's actually not easy for us to write a directly straightforward algorithm with which a computer can recognize the digits. So what is the solution then? One solution is we can create such a system which will learn the way human brain learns, that is through trial and error. So what do we need to do? So the idea is to collect images of large number of handwritten digits and creating such a system which will be able to infer or extract rules from those images. That is, it will learn itself that this is how image of a particular digit looks like, and then it can learn and evolve itself, and if it make mistakes it can correct itself. So that's where neural networks comes into picture. Neural networks are nothing but a system where they try to learn from the training data or the input data themselves. There is no need for us to explicitly classify any kind of rule. So that is what the speciality of neural networks. So let's see the relation between artificial neural network and biological neural network. This is what a biological neural network looks like. It has a nucleus and it has dendrites so that it can connect and pass its data to other neurons. It has an axon through which it can receive data from other neurons. And this is what an artificial neural network looks like. This is the cell body and these are the dendrites through which it can receive the input data. And this is the axon through which it can transfer the data to other neurons. So this is what an artificial neuron looks like. An artificial neuron is the single unit of an artificial neural network. So let's see how does a complete artificial neural network looks like. This is the collection of artificial neurons connected to each other. These all circles, they are the artificial neurons, and these are the axons, or these are the synapses through which the data is transferred from one neuron to another neuron. Well, our brain tries to process the data with the help of electrical signals. That is, it takes the data in the form of light and then convert it into electrical signals and then perform some operations with which we can understand what the data is actually. And similar thing we do here in artificial neural networks. The only thing is we don't use electrical signals actually. We have mathematical equations with which we can represent the data. So in our next video, we'll discuss two types of artificial neurons. One is sigmoidal neurons and the other one is perceptrons. These are two types of simple artificial neurons with which we can create a very complex artificial neural network. So yeah guys, I hope you liked the video. In our next video, we'll go in detail particularly about neural networks. And yeah, stay connected with me and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.